Hi everyone, in this episode I'm going to Lake Ohrid in North Macedonia. It's a huge freshwater lake in the southwest corner of the country. It's by far the #1 tourist attraction of the country of North Macedonia, so if you come here you can't miss Lake Ohrid. It is on every tourist pamphlet, brochure, and guidebook that you will see about the country of North Macedonia. It's easy to see why. It looks like a sea surrounded by a bunch of hills and mountains, fed by crystal clear streams and verdant scenery around it. It's not very developed, so it's really kind of pristine. And the water is blue, it's clear, and it's a perfect temperature for taking a dip on a nice hot summer day. There are little towns, and the gem in the crown is the town of Ohrid itself. It is a UNESCO-heritage site. It has a fortress on a hill, and then surrounding the fortress are a multitude of red tile roof buildings and also tons of Byzantine churches. So there's a lot to see, and it's a really nice way to spend a few days in the old town. I'm making a whole extra video on the town of Ohrid because there's so much to see. You'll also see this iconic Byzantine church overlooking the cliff and the lake. That is the symbol of North Macedonia, and you'll see it everywhere. So the way to enjoy the lake is either to just enjoy being in the town of Ohrid, or if you happen to pass the small harbor in Ohrid, there's only one, you will invariably be pounced upon by tourist people trying to sell you boat trips. The good thing is there's tons of options. You can really do as long or short or as expensive or as cheap as you want. So you can rent a taxi boat. They can take you to wherever you want to go. That's always an option. They leave anytime from the harbor. Then there are little boat trips that take you kind of around Ohrid town and take you around the Cliff Monastery and then maybe to a beach or two and then come back to the town. Those take only a few hours. Then they have all-day trips which leave around 10:30 or 11 from the harbor and then come back around 4 or 4:30. Those are either big boats or small pontoon boats. The big boats stop at St. Naum in the south of the lake and then make one stop at the Bay of Bones floating museum. That will cost 15 euros. Then you have the pontoon boats. Those are smaller boats that go a little faster, and they will stop at a monastery, which is only reachable by boat. They will also stop at the Bay of Bones Museum, and they will stop at another little town, and finally at St. Naum Monastery as well. You get around That's 25 euros, and you get like 2 hours at St. Naum Monastery, which has a nice beach and kind of a nice nature stream that you can take boat trips on and have really nice meals. I did the last one, the pontoon boat, so I'll be sharing what that is like. And here's one of the expensive resorts along the lake. Of course, yoga in the morning.
Ella quiere más de lo que vamos a hacer en París, Julia. Baila un poquito más, acércate a mi mamá, que vamos a hacerlo una vez más. Ella baila pero no dice nada, su booty lo expresaba con perreíto y con dembow. Sabe bien que ha sido la estrella, dándole al reggaetón, ton, ya. Y empieza el flow, esta es la nueva era pero baila todo. Baila una de Maluma y Tego Calderón. La nena está bien puesta pa' cualquier canción, no tabaco y ron. Y empieza el flow, esta es la nueva era pero baila todo. Baila una de Maluma y Tego Calderón. La nena está bien puesta pa' cualquier canción, no tabaco y ron. Ella quiere más de lo que vamos a hacer en París, Julia. Baila un poquito más, acércate a mi mamá, que vamos a hacerlo una vez más. El que más ladra come hueso, el que a ti te baila sabe eso. Y nos ponemos bien traviesos, esos son efectos del proceso. Solo con esa mirada sé lo que quieres. Se ve muy educadita, hace sus deberes. Siempre ha sido la envidia de las mujeres por toda esa belleza y cómo se mueve. Sabes cómo tú me dejas después del party en ti pensando. Cuando tú te sientes sola como una loca, a mí me llamas. Qué casualidad que pienses en lo mismo que yo estoy pensando. Escondernos en la playa jugando a solas de madrugada. Ella quiere más de lo que vamos a hacer en París, Julia. Baila un poquito más, acércate a mi mamá, que vamos a hacerlo una vez más. Ella es una asesina, la baby a mí me se imaginan. Una asesina, baby, a mí me domina. Cuando te toco, siento que choco con una mina. Ella quiere más de lo que vamos a hacer. Barrizar, regular. Baila un poquito más, acércate a mí, mamá. Que vamos a hacerlo una vez más.
So this is Bay of Bunks Museum, a reconstructed 3,000-year-old prehistoric village on the shores of Lake Ohrid, and it's situated in a part of the lake that was pretty shallow and clear water, so they could easily drill down these pilings, these logs, to form a dock and a platform on which to build these mud and twig dwellings. So it's also really easily defendable. It's really close to resources like timber, like food, fish, and then obviously water. At $2 per entry ticket, this was a steal. So you got to come here. It's really hard to get to if you don't go with a boat, but the bad thing is with the boat you only get 30 minutes, and I wanted to spend like 2 hours here because they have also a dive site. So you can go and look at some wrecks and really clear water, really good visibility. And yeah, I mean, you can always say you visited the predecessor of the modern Maldivian 5-star resort overwater bungalow. So there's some pretty good views overlooking the museum itself. On the right side, there's a little hill with a view tower, and it has a really good view of the museum. And then also from even the parking lot on the left side, it's a pretty good view. The dive center is right on site on the right of the platform. So after the brief 30-minute stop, which was not enough, we went to the next spot, which was a swimming spot off of the little village of, oh geez, Trpejca, Trpejca. It's a little village, and it was glorious. It was so nice in the water, and just like turquoise, clean, fresh, refreshing swim.
Lake Ohrid.
Let's go. Woo! Like.
Super, very nice.
Сяде го боли пътя.
I want to know what he was saying, because he's definitely getting drunk on rakia at that point. There was a good mix of people, some Macedonians, some people from Netherlands, UK, US, and Czech Republic. Oh, and then Germans, of course. They're everywhere. It was a good trip. I only have one complaint, which was a shade, because I specifically asked the guy, I was like, oh, is there shade? And he's like, yeah, of course, we have this covering. And then I knew it was going to not be like that. As soon as they exited the port, the captain decided to take off the shade for the whole entire boat ride. So, I knew it. And here we are, the monastery of St. Naum, almost at the furthest southern point of Macedonia, or North Macedonia, on the Albanian border. And this monastery, it was built in a very stunning setting on a cliffside overlooking the lake around the year 900 in the Byzantine Orthodox style. It's massively popular with North Macedonians as well as tourists, so be prepared for some crowds if you go in the peak time when all the boats stop for their 2-hour stop here. So yeah, if you want to avoid that, just eat a little earlier because everyone goes straight to the monastery and then eats for the rest of the time and then takes the boat back at 3 p.m. But you can avoid that by going in the reverse order. There's also really good nature walking around there and really nice, clear streams around there too. The monastery itself is where St. Naum, a scholar, was interred, and legend has it if you put your ear to his coffin, you can hear his heartbeat. Another really cool thing to do is do the nature walk. So you basically follow the stream, and then there's a loop nature walk that will take you, and you'll pass a lot of Orthodox churches, or really chapels, tiny churches. They're really nice and really well maintained, and they all have really nice scenery in olive fields or forests, and it's a really nice time. You can also rent a boat, and they will take you rowing through the forest and the streams. That's really nice as well. And there's a nice beach area. I didn't think it was one of the best beaches I've ever seen, but for a lake, it's pretty nice. And there were a lot of people and a lot of kids, family friendly, and no waves, of course, but nice, cool, refreshing water. And there's one beach bar owned by the Cuba Libre chain, which was having crazy, crazy wedding music. It looked like a lot of fun. People just dancing in a circle for hours and eating and drinking and having a really good time on a Sunday. All in all, a fabulous day on the beautiful Lake Ohrid, and very economical day, 25 euros for the boat trip and 2 euros for the entry of the Bay of Bones Museum. So by 4 p.m. I'm back in Ohrid town, and I get to enjoy one of my favorite parts of every day in the Balkans, a cheap, delicious meal. And last but not least, I got some footage of the wedding, and my conclusion, Balkans have more fun.